Welcome to Easy Elim Learning Simplified. My name is Ruth, and today we are going to be looking at the topic Introduction to Chemistry, and we are going to be looking at the Bunsen burner. In our previous lessons, we were able to look at apparatus in the lab, looked at the apparatus used to measure volume, the apparatus used to measure mass, the apparatus used to measure temperature, the apparatus used to measure time, and other apparatus in the laboratory. And the apparatus that looked similar or had similar functions, we were able to see their differences and also clarify those misconceptions. So for today, we are going to look on other sources of heat and the ones that are used in the lab, and specifically also the Bunsen burner. And we are going to look at the parts of the Bunsen burner and its uses, and also focus on a few questions in regards to what we are going to discuss today. So let us begin. So in the laboratory, we do have sources of heat. In the lab, we have the Bunsen burner, which is this. And then we can also use the spirit lamps. We have the candle, and then we have the gas stove or the kerosene stove, depending on what is in the gas jar. And then we also have the electric heater, although the one that we commonly use in the laboratory is the Bunsen burner, and that is what we are going to focus on. But in some cases, other sources of heat also can be used in situations where the Bunsen burner is missing. So when you look at the Bunsen burner, it usually consists of three major parts. We have the chimney, the collar, and the base. So this is the Bunsen burner. We have the chimney, and then we have the collar that is inside here, and then we have the base. So when we look at the Bunsen burner in detail, we know that the Bunsen burner has a chimney. This chimney is a hollow cylinder with an air hole at the end. So the chimney, this is where all the gases from the lab and also air from outside they mix, and this is where the burning happens on top of the chimney. And then collar is a metallic ring. That's from the word collar. If you hear the word collar, it means that it's going to be moving up and down. So the collar is usually used to close the air hole, open and close the air hole, because it's going to help us to produce the two types of flames that we're going to discuss later on. It is usually the same size as that of the air hole in the chimney, but a little bit bigger in comparison to the chimney. So we also have the base at the bottom. The base is usually large. It's usually metallic in material, and then it has like a small opening which is fitted to the jet. And the base is usually used for supporting. We are going to go into details on the uses later. And then that jet is usually connects to the gas inlet that comes from the laboratory gas. So this is the normal gas that is used for burning that is connected now to the laboratory gas. So when you open it, it gets into the jet and gets into the chimney, and it's burned when it's mixed with the air. So next, let's look at the different uses or functions of the parts of a Bunsen burner. So first of all, we'll start with the most basic one, which is the jet. When you look at the jet, it's usually connected to the gas pipe or the rubber tubing. The rubber tubing gets the gas from the lab and then it gets it into the jet. So the jet is the one that allows the gas to enter into the chimney. So that is the function of the jet. And then we have the collar, which we talked about, which has a bigger diameter than the chimney, but it's the same size as the air hole. So it is used to regulate the amount of air entering the chimney. How does it do that? It opens and closes the air hole. So you can close the air hole or open the air hole using the collar. And then we do have the gas inlet, which is usually connected to the external source of gas. That is what we have just said. So this rubber tubing is connected to the laboratory gas wherever it is located. Some are usually placed on the benches, others are directly attached to the gas source. So usually connect it to the gas inlet. It can be mostly it's usually metallic, but it can also be just a rubber tubing. And then we have the air hole. It is very specific, just from the word air hole. It allows air into the chimney, which mixes with the laboratory gas. So air gets through the air hole. That's why when we are able to control it, to control the amount or to regulate the amount of air, we can be able to get the different flames. And that is what we said the collar is the function of the collar. So the air hole allows air to enter into the chimney. And then when the laboratory gas and the air mix, they mix in the chimney, and when they're ignited at the top, that's when they produce a flame. And we are going to look at these two different types of flames that are produced by the Bunsen burner and why the Bunsen burner is very unique in terms of these flames that it produces. So just to recap on what we have discussed, we've said in the lab we have different sources of heat. We have the Bunsen burner, we have also the gas stove, the candle, the kerosene stove, the electric heater, but the most common that we use is in the lab was the Bunsen burner. And the Bunsen burner is made up of three parts. We have the chimney, we have the collar, and the base. Those are the major parts. But the other connective parts that forms the Bunsen burner. So there's a jet and also there's an air hole. So the jet usually allows the laboratory gas into the chimney. The collar helps to regulate the amount of air entering the chimney by opening and closing the air hole. And then we have a gas inlet, which is connected to a rubber tubing that is connected to the external source of laboratory gas. We have the air hole that allows air to enter into the chimney, but it's also controlled by the collar. And then when the air and the laboratory gas mix at the chimney, they are ignited at the top and we produce a flame. So later in the next lesson, we are going to look at these flames and in detail. So let's look at one question in regards to what we have discussed. So the figure below shows part of a Bunsen burner. Study it and answer the questions that follow. So let's look at the parts labeled. So we have part B. The part B is going to be the collar. And then we have part D, which is the rubber tubing. And then the next question is state the function of the part labeled B. So the collar, we say that it regulates the amount of air entering the chimney. And we know it is regulating this way in such that it opens and closes the air hole where the air is getting in through. So that's how it functions. So that's it for today. I hope you have been able to understand and get the different parts of the Bunsen burner and also be able to identify their uses and how they function well together. We have also mentioned other sources of heat that can be used in the laboratory, but the Bunsen burner is unique because it also gives us two flames which are beneficial in the lab. So in the next lesson, we are going to look at the flame. So see you in the next lesson.